Hello everybody, we're back with another episode of Blender Logs. And today I just wanted to talk about my recent project, the Sacred Heart of Jesus. I guess a lot of people might not know much about the Sacred Heart of Jesus, so I'm going to go into some backstory. The Sacred Heart of Jesus was a devotion that was picked up by a nun in the 17th century. Saint Margaret was her name, and she received visions of Jesus. And in these visions, Jesus wanted to share his love, his boundless love for humanity through his heart, through this image. And so that's where that devotion picked up was from this nun, Saint Margaret, and really just a symbol of God's love for us. You know, there's just that burning, intense like love. But like, wow, there's all this love, but like, you know, there's like thorns and like just blood coming out, and it's like, well, like love, it requires sacrifice. Love is hard. It is hard to love. Yeah, so I thought this would be a nice Valentine's Day. It really hits home. Really hits home. But yeah, in Blender, it was really neat getting to work with the fire. Really neat, but also very challenging. I had a lot of problems with the fire. I was watching Blender Made Easy tutorials, and Blender was not made easy for me. But I don't think it was the tutorial's fault. It was just how Blender is with fire. Blender was just very... I don't like how it's set up in Blender. It's very hard to learn. Or at least learning curve. Or I think it's more with my Blender, actually. Not necessarily that it was hard to learn. My Blender, for some reason, was not picking up the right colors for the flames. And I was looking everywhere because I couldn't really see anybody else having the same problem that I was. But I eventually figured out where it was at least... it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I think this will work. I wouldn't mind improving on it though, because it looks very pixelated in the final render. If you haven't seen the whole render itself, it should be the last episode before this one, or you can go to my animation playlist and it should be there. But yeah, also these thorns was really neat getting to work with, because I also was working with simple deform and like bending stuff. But I think I actually just ended up using the proportional editor to edit a circle into like those loops, and then I just duplicated the thorns and like spinned 190 degrees so it could turn. And then the wound in his side, I just used the sculpting tool to make like a divot in his heart. And then I just put a little plane there. You can see that little square or rectangle. Yeah, I guess it's a rectangle. That's a different color, and so looks like blood there. And in the animation, there wasn't blood dripping out. I had blood dripping out. I would like to redo that at some point. But for some reason it just didn't. No, that's why. Because I forgot to change the timeline for the blood that was dripping, and also the blood that was dripping. It kind of just disappeared. So, yeah. Anywho, but yeah, I really would like to work on this some more. They believe it like deserves. The Sacred Heart of Jesus definitely deserves some more time. But yeah, and for those who don't know much about the Sacred Heart, I'm going to put a link in the description. A website called Catholic Answers. It's very informative. I think it's really cool. Yeah, so if you're interested, there'll be a link in the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys also had a good Valentine's Day and that you have a great weekend. Adios.